The Path of Exile community continues to split more and more after every PoE 2 teaser releases. This latest information dump introduced all us ARPG players to a brand new take on the typical gritty dark fantasy setting of PoE, unleashing a very USA spin on the New Zealand crafted Path of Exile 2 with a deep delve into the Mercenary class. This video explores that latest foray into the upcoming ARPG, investigating what the Mercenary's introduction means for PoE 2 as a whole. One thing's for sure, I may finally need to adjust my audio settings if I decide to play a Mercenary. Gunshots are already common enough where I live. It will peek into the aesthetic choices in PoE 2, from the dreary cityscapes we see to the absolutely terrifying monsters we are going to battle. I tried to show my wife the latest boss fight, and it made her legitimately angry and scared. A poor combination. I mean, I don't blame her. Let's just take a quick glimpse.
Oh, my dear child! Your time has come. For the goats!
Chills. I hope my wife still tries out PoE 2, but now I'm unsure. This video will go into a tad of speculation on how far Grinding Gear Games truly is into the development of PoE 2. When the closed beta hits on June 7th, 2024, how long will that era realistically last based on what we've seen thus far? Will our children's grandchildren be playing PoE 2 1.0, or could we realistically see it by the end of 2024? Finally, it will close out with some discussion on why Exiles are becoming more and more polarized about PoE 2. I expect as much hate as Jonathan Rogers gushing about crossbows. Please prove me wrong. My fellow Exiles, welcome and well met. I'm Talkative Try. On this channel, we talk about Path of Exile, its development, and all its competitors. If you enjoy the content, please make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. More on how you can support at the end. Now, let's take another attempt at a video today, move on forward, and get to it. The Mercenary is one of 6 brand new classes arriving with Path of Exile 2. While we don't know what its ascendancy classes will be, we know plenty of new weapons, skill gems, and archetypes that are being constructed around the Merc's identity. The 3 primary ones showcased in this run of gameplay footage are crossbows, ammo gems, and attachments. While Jonathan did a great job of breaking everything down during the walkthrough, I'm going to glance at each at a high level. Crossbows come in at least 3 types. The type of crossbow you wield changes how your ammo skills function. The 3 crossbows we saw were the burst shot, rapid shot, and power shot crossbows. Burst shot is like a shotgun, rapid shot is like a machine gun, and power shot is like a sniper rifle. Yes, crossbows in PoE 2 are essentially just like guns in classic shooters. Each type of crossbow reacts instantly when you use a skill, meaning 2 things. You need to feel an immediate impact, and you must be able to easily control where you're shooting. This led the development of an extremely authentic animation and sound system surrounding crossbows for the impactful feel, and the addition of an entirely new way to play PoE, with WASD instead of using the mouse. That's right, in PoE 2, you can control your character's movement with WASD while aiming your skills with the cursor. You may also swap between these movement types at any time. Plenty of Exiles were as excited for this as I was to hear the Taylor Swift Eras concert might be coming to a streaming service near me. Others just got upset others had something new to play with. And a select few brought up a good point. Hopefully skills aren't designed entirely around the use of WASD, else this will force those who greatly prefer the classic ARPG cursor movement and aiming to use WASD controls. Now to ammo skill gems. They're rather simple. While the type of crossbow you wield determines how your shots are fired, the type of ammo gem you use determines what those shots do. You might have an incendiary ammo that lights your ammo on fire, or icy ammo that turns your ammo into freezing bolts. Did someone say armor-piercing bolt? Who knows what that'll do. Each ammo gem appears to have a unique interaction with each crossbow type, which is great, especially since we can easily swap between skills and crossbow types with the wonderfully reworked weapon swapping in PoE 2. Finally, let's take a glimpse at attachments. These appear to be similar to quivers, except they grant skills, powerful ones, and they can only be used with crossbows. We saw 3 example attachments, one that granted grenades, another that gave flashbangs, and another that gave access to oil bombs. All these bombs could interact with each other and the crossbow ammo skills. For example, you could shoot an oil bomb, then light it up with an incendiary bolt skill. You could also target and prematurely detonate the normal grenades, dealing massive AoE and single target damage. Overall, this kit of 3 marked the Merc as a distinct PoE 2 class, which is what GGG is going for. As someone who hasn't played it, the Merc looks and feels unique with the kit it's built around. His voice acting is also great. Sounds like Karst from Heist. When PoE 2 hits, I cannot wait for people to build wild Merc starters or gun-based builds on other classes like the Marauder or the Templar. It's gonna be rad. It's also going to be super difficult to choose between this and the Druid. At least I have 6 months to decide, right? Although it wasn't highlighted by Jonathan during the presentation, my goodness gracious was the walkthrough horrifying. It saw the Merc returning to a familiar city at night. It really looks like Sarn. As the Merc lightly runs down the streets, mutated abominations rush him. Vile, childless hags, malformed infants, rabid dogs, blinking specters, and hulking, overgrown, lumbering demons. All the while, the eerie atmosphere grows as chilling music lingers in the background, heightened by screams, crumbling infrastructure, and a nighttime haze constantly illuminated by gunfire and flashes of white light. Then it all ends in fire and blood at the final area when the Merc encounters an abysmally grotesque hag armed with a pair of scissors. She transforms into scimitars and, I kid you not, a rejected unborn demonic child. The wailing of the hag, the screams of the babe, the snapping of the scissors, the genuine fear in the mercenary's voice, the epic and intense battle music, it all swells to form a perfect whole and is leagues better than anything I've encountered in my gaming journey in years. My time in Last Epoch so far, nothing close. Diablo 3? Nope. Diablo 4? Nah. Even Diablo 2 and Path of Exile 1 don't really draw near to what I felt when I watched this. Maybe the first time fighting Andariel when I was like 6, or delving into Piety's lair might come close, but this really is on another level. The graphic, sound design, and animation team at GGG are absolutely slaying, and I cannot wait to see how the entire game plays out. PoE 2 was announced in 2019. 4 years have passed and they've been working on it since late 2018, I'd wager. With the closed beta hitting on June 7, 2024, and given how much we've seen, will PoE 2 come out to the public before 2024 ends? I think not. I'm guessing it'll be a summer 2025 full release with a lengthy closed beta and a massive open beta. We still haven't seen any of the old classes since that initial reveal. We know the archetypes GGG is going for with the Monk, the Mercenary, the Druid, and the rest of the new classes, but how about the classic ones? What's the Marauder going to specialize in? The Templar? The Ranger? And on top of that, I'm sure we'll get a glimpse of some of the 36 Ascendancy classes too. Maybe some more uniques. How about the entire endgame structure? There's a lot to show, and I'm sure a lot to work on. A full release in 2024 would be ambitious. PoE 1 itself was an alpha, closed and open beta for about 2 years. I think they'll cut that in half and go for a summer 2025 release for PoE 2, given all the work and testing they need to do. There's no need to rush. It's going to be an excellent game with excellent developers. To most of us. Every single PoE 2 showcase hits with more and more furious PoE players. They say PoE 2 looks boring. They say PoE 2 looks like Diablo 4. They say PoE 2 is never going to be as good as PoE 1. They say PoE 2 will die almost immediately after release, no matter what. While I somewhat understand the frustration of people who enjoy PoE 1 and want to keep enjoying it for as long as possible, there's truly no need to treat PoE 2 and those excited for it like that week-old pumpkin pie that's been sitting on the dinner table since the night of Thanksgiving. PoE 2 fans are not trash, and GGG is not trash for caring a bunch about PoE 2. They sought to be incredibly ambitious and form a brand new ARPG alongside PoE 1. Right now, the gamble is paying off. This latest PoE 1 update looks phenomenal, and it was built while a ton of GGG devs were working diligently on PoE 2. They are not like other gaming companies out there. People think PoE 1 and PoE 2 will be very different games in terms of feel. I'm not so certain that's true, but I could be entirely wrong too. PoE 2 will definitely be more accessible, from its streamlined gem system to its allowance of WASD controls, but it also might have more depth with dual skill trees, 36 ascendancy classes, more item base types, and plenty of other brand new additions. It's also going to be absolutely beautiful. Jonathan, the PoE 2 game director, said it best on the latest livestream. He said depth and complexity were very different concepts, and while PoE 1 is incredibly deep and complex, PoE 2 is looking to sacrifice complexity where it's confusing in exchange for more easily graspable depth. That's a smart play, and I'm confident the awesome team over there can pull it all off. But what did you think, Exiles of YouTube? Did you enjoy the latest Mercenary teaser and the addition of WASD movement to PoE? Or are you getting more and more jaded with every single announcement about Path of Exile 1's upcoming sequel? Let me and everyone else know in the comments below. A massive thanks to each and every one of you who watched this whole video. I deeply appreciate it. And here's an even larger shout out to all those who support me on Patreon and through YouTube. You can find links to support the channel in the description. Please check out these other videos on screen now and share this video with your favorite Exile. I have an inkling you'll both enjoy them all. Anyways, that's all for this video. Tala Moana, Exile.